Welcome to our channel where we explore the stories behind the greatest works of history, culture, and faith. Today we're diving into a question that has intrigued scholars, believers, and history buffs alike. When was the Bible written? The answer isn't as simple as you might think, but I promise by the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of the fascinating journey behind this sacred text. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's unravel the story of the Bible. Our story begins over 3,000 years ago. The Old Testament, also called the Hebrew Bible, is the first section of the Bible and contains some of the oldest known religious texts. But how did it start? Initially, these stories were passed down orally. Tales of creation, the Great Flood, and the lives of patriarchs like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were memorized and retold across generations. These oral traditions likely date back to around 1200 before Christ. The first written records, however, are thought to have emerged around the 10th century before Christ, during the reigns of King David and Solomon. The Torah, or the first 5 books of the Bible, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, were likely compiled over several centuries. By the time of the Babylonian Exile in the 6th century before Christ, Jewish scribes began consolidating these texts into a coherent collection, preserving their heritage in the face of adversity. Now let's fast forward a few hundred years to the 1st century after Christ. The New Testament, the second part of the Bible, was written in the context of a rapidly spreading faith, Christianity. The New Testament begins with the life, teachings, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. These events were so transformative that his followers began documenting them in the form of Gospels and letters. The earliest writings of the New Testament are believed to be the letters, or epistles, of the Apostle Paul. Written between 50 and 60 after Christ, these letters were addressed to early Christian communities, offering guidance and encouragement. Then came the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, which recount the story of Jesus from different perspectives. These were written between 65 and 100 after Christ. But here's the kicker. At this point, the New Testament wasn't a single book. These texts were circulated individually, often as letters or scrolls, among early Christian communities. How did these individual writings become the Bible as we know it today? That process took centuries. In the 4th century after Christ, Christian leaders began the monumental task of deciding which books were divinely inspired and should be included in the biblical canon. By 367 after Christ, Athanasius, a bishop of Alexandria, listed the 27 books of the New Testament that are recognized today. Around the same time, the Hebrew Bible was solidifying its form as well. The Bible was then translated into Latin, the common language of the Roman Empire, becoming the Vulgate, a version that dominated for over 1,000 years. For much of history, the Bible was handwritten, making copies rare and expensive. But in the 15th century, a revolutionary invention changed everything. The printing press. Johannes Gutenberg's printing press in the 1450s made the Bible accessible to the masses, fueling the spread of Christianity and sparking the Protestant Reformation. Today, the Bible has been translated into over 3,000 languages, making it one of the most widely read books in the world. The Bible isn't just a historical artifact, it's a living text. For billions of people, its words continue to inspire, guide, and challenge. Whether you view it as sacred scripture, literature, or history, there's no denying the profound impact the Bible has had on our world. So when was the Bible written? The truth is, it's a story of evolution, starting as oral traditions, transformed into scrolls and letters, and finally becoming the bound book we know today. It's a journey spanning over 1,000 years, shaped by faith, perseverance, and the desire to connect with something greater. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey through history. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more deep dives into history, culture, and spirituality. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.